Well, hi everyone. I just came right back because I've been working on something all afternoon I was thinking about reading on. And I don't even know if I can get it across to you where you know what I'm reading on. Just the way my mind goes sometimes when I'm watching news sometimes just things start stringing together for me. And I've been pretty lucky because a lot of times when I've started reading on this stuff, it's came out later that, yeah, that's what was going on. But what I'm going to read on is I know anybody that watches the news at all has heard of this Russian spy. He must have been a double agent or, well, I guess he wasn't a Russian spy, but he was a Russian that was spying for us, that was working so close to Putin that he supposedly could read the paperwork on his desk from some of the things that's been said about this guy. And then after Trump got elected, I guess something he said to the Russians might have outed him, so they got him out of there, got old motor mouth in there, bragging to the Russians about everything he knows about everything else. And they were afraid that he may have put this man's life in danger, the United States was, so they took him out of Russia and brought him back here and put him kind of undercover. It even said where he was at. I don't remember where it was, somewhere not too far from the Washington area, I don't think. But they had him in a home, and I guess with his family and stuff, and some newspaper reporter or something came up and knocked on his door about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I heard something about it on the news. But anyway, he moved the next day because he didn't, he knows that he'll always be in danger, especially from Putin. But so what I'm thinking about in the last 10 days is when all this stuff came out in the newspaper, like where he was, 2 or 3, I guess a couple, maybe 2, 3 days in a row, there was something in the newspapers about him and where he was at and who he was and all this kind of stuff. And why was this stuff in the newspaper? Were they trying to get him shot? Or not shot or killed or whatever, poisoned or whatever? Putin just, why were they, who was trying to out him? Who was saying where he was living and who wanted him dead? So that's going to be the question. Who was it that wanted him outed and found, which put his life in danger? And why? What were they afraid of? What does he know that they just assume? It almost sounds like that Epstein. It sounds like he knows something that they just don't want to get out, that the administration does not want to get out in any way. So, like I said, this is just my view of it, but let's see what if the cards have anything to say about this. There's somebody sneaking around, saying and doing stuff they shouldn't. Maybe he just knows about a lot of money or something that got put somewhere it shouldn't be. Who knows? Because that's heading up on top of the reading here. We got the thief. Our sneaky things going on behind people's back, however you want to look at it. So we're going to start out doing the 4 across. Is Barr behind this? Is Barr behind trying to out this poor guy? The Hanged Man. Yeah, it looks like he might be. Of course, I just don't like Barr. But it looks like he's in trouble one way or the other. Somebody's really got it in for him, poor guy. And here's the Page of Wands. Now, somebody's tattling on him, and I just asked if it was Barr. It shows the hanged man. Maybe it's Barr that would be the hangman if this guy ends up talking. Maybe this stuff's going to come out about how much Putin really helped Trump get elected. Who knows? So we got the hanged man. Somebody wanting to shut somebody up. Then we got the King of Wands is the challenge. I think Trump wants him shut up. And then we have the Nine of Cups, which is the yes card. So I was just kind of reaching there when I said, is Barr behind this? But I would say, yes, he's definitely behind it. He's got something to do with wanting this man outed, which will probably end up getting him poisoned or killed. And maybe he's wanting it. And the next thing I was going to ask is this anything to do with Andrew McCabe? You know, they're still trying to prosecute him, put him in jail for opening up this investigation on Trump originally. And I'm thinking maybe this Russian spy knows something about that. I'm thinking it might have something to do with Andrew McCabe. So let's see what comes up for that. We got the Ace of Coins. That's another yes card. So maybe this isn't as far-fetched as I thought it was. So we got the Ace of Coins. So it very well could have something to do with Andrew McCabe. Yeah. And then the next we got the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, if this information came out, it would really change how people are thinking about stuff. I know they've heard so much, almost nothing changed. People are numb to it. But this information would really be shocking if it came to them. Like I said, here would have Trump trying to hide under the bed. So yeah, there is some information there, and it's something to do with what got this investigation started to start with. Something to do with the information that this was coming straight from Putin's desk. And the challenge to this will be if we ever figure out what's really going on, because they're going to try to smoke screen this just totally. And maybe that's why they're trying to indict Andrew McCabe. Maybe they figure if they can make him a deal to keep his mouth shut, and they'll just let it all go or whatever. I can't even imagine why they would, how or why they could even do it. But who knows? I mean, everything's so corrupt right now up there. But yeah, it's like a smoke screen is the challenge. And the future here is the Tower. And I think if they push this to try to get rid of Andrew McCabe, that it will probably backfire on him. It will probably backfire on them and end up bringing them down. So I don't know why they're pushing this or where they're going with it, but it's going to backfire on them if it goes through, if they really bring him to trial. And the third one across here is, does this Russian spy have information about Trump and Russia? Which is kind of asking the same thing. Is that what got this started? Yeah. I think he knows things that he hasn't told anybody yet. Here it shows him walking on eggs, walking on being really careful what he says, just trying to keep his throat from getting slit, probably. And he knows enough where it's worrying him. Not just the fact that Putin's after him, but we got the nine here of swords, and he's laying awake night worrying about this because he knows more than he's told, and so he feels like he's getting challenged from two different directions, from Russia and the United States. Feels like he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, that he's just screwed. And the challenge of this is the Nine of Cups, which I feel like even the people trying to get rid of him, even if it's like Barr and people from over here, that they were hoping the Russians would just do it really quick if they let everybody know where he was at. But they're still not quite sure what they're going to do. It's like murky waters. They need this dried up. They need it cut off, and they're still not quite sure how to do it. And the next card out is the Lovers. So they're trying to make him some kind of deal, like they'll really special protect him if he keeps his mouth shut. And this isn't only about what he learned from Russia, about Putin and Trump, but this is keeping his mouth shut about what he knows. They're wanting him to stay shut up. They're wanting him to stay shut up about the relationship between Trump and Russia, because he knows personal things about it that nobody else knows. And I don't think they really realized that till they got him back over here and got him put somewhere, and then I think all of a sudden they realized how much trouble that he could get him into, and so that's when all this information came out about him, where he was and how to get to him. The last thing across for this was what he knows, because they've had him back here for a while. Was that what got, like McCabe, enough information to start the investigation into Trump that they're trying to get him in trouble for? Was it from this Russian spy? And the first card out is the Devil, greed and avarice. Yeah, I think it had something to do with it. I think it had something to do with what got them started looking into this, where they got what they felt like was strong enough information to start looking into this and really to go investigate it. I think it opened up from the information they got from this guy they brought back. Because that was right away that Trump took the Russians into the office and started blabbing about first he outed the spy from the Jewish government. Okay, first he outed the spy from the Jewish government or something when he took the Russians into the office that day, but he said some other things to him that they thought, I'm pretty sure it was the same day that they thought he might have compromised this guy, and they thought, well, let's get him out of Russia. Well, maybe when they brought him straight back from Russia, he started talking to some of people in the FBI or whoever was questioning him and stuff, and maybe that's where they got the information to open up this investigation, was from him. So maybe I'm feeling like Barr just figured out how vulnerable him and Trump was, especially since he's been covering Trump's ass. It wasn't that he was in there to start with, but how vulnerable they were, and that they needed to get rid of this guy. So I'm thinking that maybe it was, I'm still thinking Barr was the one that outed him. So in the present, yeah, Not only this information was what started, it was information about Russia. And then we got the King of Cups here, right under the Knight of Cups going down, but we got the King of Cups here is the challenge. The emotional king can't keep his shit together, so he's behind this. And then we got the Four of Cups for the outcome, so maybe his higher angels will protect him and keep him safe, at least for a while. Maybe till things change a little bit. Maybe he'll be safe for a while. Let's hope so. Let's hope they... But no matter where they put him, if Trump wanted to find out, he could probably find out. I'm sure Barr could. Like I said, I feel like we got a crime syndicate running the United States right now. So anyway, let's go down on these since we got 4 of them. And the first one across is Barr behind this. And we got the Hanged Man. He feels like his ass would be in trouble with Trump when they catch him. Right now he's being protected. Got the angels of protection around him. But he knows he's going to have to start being careful. And yes, he's definitely behind this. He's behind it 100%. Here's the devil at the bottom, which is Barr himself. The devil himself. And are they trying to indict Andrew McCabe over this? To shut him up or keep him from talking? Yeah, this is like trying to get a summons or trying to get an arrest warrant or trying to get something. Got the Page of Wands here. Lawyers. They're scared to death of what if it gets out what this person knows, that it's going to bust everything wide open. And I don't know if this is Andrew McCabe or the spy worrying where he can't sleep at night. But it is to do with the Russian business. Definitely. Here's Trump. Guess they do have information about him and the Russians. And they're trying to put a smoke screen over it. Trying to put 2 or 3 smoke screens under it. This is the murky 9 of Cups. This is the drug 9 of Cups. This is this whole row here reminds me of Trump instead of the information. Well, the information coming out about Trump and Russia, so maybe it is probably about Trump. So we got him trying to control it, him trying to put a smoke screen under it. This is the drugged person. It's probably all the Adderall and stuff he's sniffing. And the other stuff to put him to sleep at night. That's why it makes his tongue so thick. And definitely a lot going on underneath the water here. A lot of secrets being kept in that particular thing. And the last one is the same one as this. Is this what started this Russian investigation? What this guy known? Stuff he brought with him, information he brought with him, and it's yes. Got the 9 of Cups, which is the yes card. And they're scared to death it's going to bring the tower down. That if this all gets out, that it's just going to be too much. That guy needs to find the lowest hole he can crawl in and stay there. It's going to be about the relationship between Trump and Putin. And hopefully before this is all over, it'll be for all of our higher angels. This is the high angels. Hopefully they'll come in and set this right. We'll probably never know what's really going on, but I feel like something's going to come of this, and it's going to get exposed some way. It's going to come out in the open, but it's going to turn out all right. Well, that felt like gloom and doom. I don't know. I don't know. I was wanting to do something cheerful. Anyway, if anybody'd like a personal reading, it's lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If there's something you want me to read on, ask me when you do your comments, because I'm just having there's just so much stuff going on. I'm having trouble individually. I think I need to read on that Mike Pompeo. Everybody from the news media that leaked out, he's just elated about Mustache Man getting what he's calling fired, and right now they're trying to give him that job too, because he'll just be appointed there. He won't have to. I don't know. They said this has been done one other time for just a little while, and that was when Nixon was in, where a guy covered both of those jobs, the same guy. But it's just every day. There's one more rule broke, then another rule broke, then another rule broke. I wish I knew what the House was doing. I was going to read on them today, but I think I'd have been so disgusted that I would have said some bad words if I'd have read on them, because I still think they're dragging their feet. I don't know why. And I have a feeling, after listening to him, that Nader, or whatever, the guy that's right under Nancy, I think he's pretty disgusted with Nancy too. He never will come out and say it. He always says they're coming from the same place. But even when you see him being interviewed, they're not coming from the same place. Jerry Nadler, that's who it is. Yeah, I think if he had his way, that there would be a full-fledged investigation going on there. This would be open up. This would be an impeachment already. And Trump's lawyers came out today saying that they're not going to give them any of this information because it's not an impeachment. So they're forcing them to go there to get them started. And why should they even have to force them to go there? Because they've got enough stuff already to impeach him if they don't find another thing out on him. But what's been out in the news media, newspapers, they've got enough to, and what came from the Mueller report, they've got enough to me. What in the frap's going on? So anyway, it just doesn't make any sense to me, but a lot of things they've done haven't made any sense to me. It's just too much corruption and too much money in the whole place of Washington. That's what I like to see. A bunch of people get elected in there that don't owe any corporations or any big money people anything. It could start cleaning out our whole government. Anyway, thank y'all. And like I said, you don't have to agree with me, and not that I expect you to, but that's just my thoughts. And don't forget, if you want a private reading, it's lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. Just write me and I'll get back to you.